Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD, and we are still hovering between the moving averages here. You can see there's a rejection off the 155 and then another rejection off the slow moving averages. We do have a bullish setup here on the 8-hour for the oscillators. We just need to see the crossover of the faster moving oscillator here, and that is bullish. And then the next thing is if we take a Fibonacci off the previous swing low, you can see we're right in the zone that we should be expecting a turnaround on. So if you're looking at this, it does look like we're going to have a bounce here, and that also means that the Feds are probably going to be ever so slightly dovish. But now if I look at the indexes, that's a different scenario, a complete different scenario in actual fact. So yeah, lots of confusion at the moment, I think. And for the dollar, I think I'd rather wait for the Feds to finish their song and dance before jumping in on this. If we look at this on the hour, we had a crossover of the moving averages and then what could be seen as a rejection there, but I would prefer to see a rejection of this area here. So get a rejection here at 099159. It is possible that this sell-off that we had yesterday extends again for another leg down. But to be quite honest, I think the safer bet is just to wait for the noise to finish. Wait for the Feds to finish, and then we can look at the dollar. So this is poised. On the hour, it looks like a potential move to the downside, and then on the 8-hour, it is looking like a retest of a crossover with the oscillators and diversions here, which is bullish diversion. So in a zone as well, Fibonacci zone. There's so much going on here. So any break to the upside, well, no, let's rephrase that. So any dovish view on the Feds tonight, that is going to push this higher. Okay, if Feds are hawkish, we should see more volatility and possibly a continuation down. So that's kind of the outlook that we have at the moment. So pay attention to the noise, and then you can see how that plays out. If we look at the US dollar Japanese yen, we still got buyers coming in off the bottom here, and that is 147.140. But look at my oscillators now. They've rallied up. This is now a lower high. We've got two lower lows, and we've got a lower high now. Possibly that we have a down sort of a bearish channel forming here, and look at those oscillators with the crossover. So I would expect, looking at this, for it to move to the downside. If we look at it on the hour, the big question is from where. Now, gap up, gap down, gap, complete confusion. Nobody knows what's going on. Grouping of my moving averages above and below the moving averages. I have no interest in this just yet. So this is another one. You can see we are waiting for noise. Start dropping below here, 147, 140, then I think you have confirmation for a move to the downside, and that would basically mean that the Feds are becoming very hawkish. So in other words, the number of interest rates hikes over the coming months starting to decrease, and possibly even just sort of setting a target zone and saying, right, we're going to hold them in this target zone. So that's kind of the view that we've got on the dollar. It's sit on hands, don't do anything there. Moving on to British pound, Japanese yen, pretty much the same scenario. I've still got the levels that we've had in pretty much for the last 3 weeks, and you can see we are pointing to the downside on the oscillators. Bit of a bearish outlook, but we're bullish above the moving averages. Drop down to the hour, and we have a crossover here. We do have a gap up to the upside. So we've got a rejection here, there's a gap here. I would say probably a continuation down today on this pair. You can see we've got a nice rejection here already, but it's too early in the morning for me to worry about that. So any of these tails here, let's just put one more level in, so we've there. So any rejection in this zone is a good opportunity for a short. You're looking for a pin bar like this. You want an entry just below it like that, and then you want your stop just above it. So that's a 200-point stop loss there. But I would do that during the opening session. I wouldn't do it during the Asian session. The volumes are too low at the moment. So that's kind of the view. We've got a daily gap here, so it could come all the way back up to this area. If it does come up to this area, then this previous swing high is your stop. Okay, so that's kind of my view at the moment. It is setting up for another leg down as far as I'm concerned. Looks like a crossover. We're going to be volatile until we break and retest this zone here, which is 169.683. Okay, so that's kind of the view that we've got there. Moving on to Euro British Pound, and we broke the downside. We did reject this, and now we're continuing. I would expect this to be validated very soon. We can see we're going to get a crossover of all the 8-hour moving averages shortly, and we drill down to the hour. Yesterday was pretty much a nothing day as expected, which is why I was sitting on my hands. But you can expect, let's just take this one here, you can expect a rejection of any one of those two levels, and I would do this on the 15-minute chart. I wouldn't muck around. You can see yesterday is that's barbed wire. When you see price action like this, tails up, tails down on a 15-minute chart, right in amongst the moving averages, that is a perfect sign that you stay well away and you look for the breaks of the extreme. You can see there was an attempt to the upside and there's been an attempt to the downside, and then the downside has won this morning. So you're looking for pullbacks. There's a gap here as well, so I would argue that it's this level here, 0.86030. That is the level we want to reject, and if you can get price action here, you've got a 60-point stop loss. You just need to be above these two tails here. So just your entry is going to be below the price action, and then you're looking for a move down. That's kind of the view that we've got there. Target to the downside is a difficult one to pick up at the moment, but right where price is a good level. Right there, in actual fact, yeah, something like that. But if we just come to the 8-hour, and yeah, you can probably bargain on the 0.85 or even the lows, because we have tested it a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there will be some kind of a head and shoulders pattern that people are looking at inside here. And this could be the rejection of it right here. But I'd expect to move down, then a bounce back up, and that's kind of the area you want to get in for a move to the downside. And the first target for me would be this gap. So this is going to be the first target here. So that's going to be, where is my 0.84904. I have no idea why it's up at the top, but 0.84904. That is the downside target with a decent setup here on the 15-minute chart. Okay, it will be volatile, just keep that in mind. So it is going to touch levels, bounce off levels, bounce back up until heading down to that level. And then you can see you've got first level to worry about a 0.85700, and then get through that, then you're looking at the next level down. Anyway, this is probably the best setup that I've seen of everything that I've looked at this morning. Range break, continuation down. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.